single snow. It snowed pretty
It's
hard.
snowing really hard in the mirror. And then on that side there's nothing.
It's all clear.
Oh my gosh.
Today we're looking at glitch in the matrix TikToks that break reality.
Side memorabilia, exclusive items, and so much more, all at the Rec Room in downtown Toronto. Open through Sunday.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you to all the channel members for support. This is part 3. You guys have liked part 1 and 2, so let's try to get to 2,000 likes this video. And the real glitch in the matrix is that it says that 60% of you guys are not subscribed, so make sure to smash that subscribe button. Let's go.
Anything we are seeing actually real.
And what was the highlight of the evening for you tonight?
Watch the girl in black behind her just disappear.
After her drama.
Watch again slower. CGI or the Matrix? What is really going on with the celebrities in Hollywood?
What is the creepiest glitch in the Matrix you've experienced? Not sure if anyone will believe me or not, but F it, here goes. When I was in high school, my friend Phil himself. I never really knew the specifics. All I know is that he shot himself at one of the local parks. Fast forward 6 years or so and I'm asleep in bed next to my ex-wife. I'm having a fairly normal dream. I was at a store doing something or another. I can't really remember the specifics of the beginning of the dream. What I do remember is running into Phil in the store. When I saw him, everything got super weird. He actually looked like Phil, not like in most dreams where people will be certain people but not look like them. He actually looked like Phil. He looked at me and smiled and said, "Hey man." At the moment the dream got crystal clear. I asked him if it was really him and he said it was. He told me we were gonna hang out for a bit, and after that the dream got super lucid. He showed me how to make stuff and generally we just doing dream things. Suddenly I realized that my dream was coming to an end. I turned to him and asked him if I was about to wake up. He said yes and said he had fun coming to hang out with me for a bit. I don't know why, but I asked, "So why you do it, man? Why you yourself?" The way he answered chilled to my core, not necessarily what he said, just how he said it. He replied, "My girlfriend cheated on me, man." He said it like it was a question he'd answered before. Like when someone asks you what your first job was, you've responded with the exact same sentence so many times that it just falls off of your tongue effortlessly. Except I had known his girlfriend and they were the kind of couple that everyone admired. I said, "Sophie? Sophie cheated on you?" His eyes lit up like he realized he was talking to someone that actually knew him in life. He said, "Yeah man, Sophie cheated on me." We gave each other a hug and he wished me well. I woke up and felt super strange. It was somewhere around 2 or 3 in the morning. I closed my eyes and thought, "Phil, if that was really you, I need you to give me a sign." No sooner than when that thought finished, my phone started ringing. It came across as an unknown number and only rang twice. I knew I wasn't dreaming anymore because my ex-wife woke up and sleepily asked me who was trying to call me so late. To this day when I think about this story I get chills.
What's your creepiest glitch in the Matrix or unexplainable thing that's ever happened to you? I have a good one. I was about 12 years old, and woke up in the middle of the night needing to take a leak. I walked across the hall to the little bathroom, hit the lights, and was about to reach for the toilet when I glanced up and saw a face in the mirror. It was not my face. It was as if someone was on the other side, standing to the right, with their face right next to the glass, staring at me. I only saw it for the briefest moment, but it is seared into my brain. I screamed, and ran out of there to find my dad. Of course, my dad investigated, then calmed me down, or tried to. Eventually we had a prayer session, because I was so freaked out. Eventually I must have gone back to sleep. Fast forward to my 30s. I'd forgotten all about the event. One night while visiting, my dad quietly brings it up. "Remember that one time you saw a face in the mirror?" It suddenly came back to me in a rush of memory, sending a chill down my spine. "Yay, I remember well," he said. "I sometimes think about that night." He looked down at the floor, with a serious expression. I saw it too. He went on to describe exactly what I'd seen. We have no idea what that was. Apparently when he investigated, he saw it and had a freak out of his own. Apparently the prayer session was as much for his own nerves as mine. I respect him for keeping that tidbit from me till my 30s, but I kinda wish he'd never told me.
I've been trying to figure out how to do this. It's a real glitch in the Matrix live. I'm moving closer to my front window where the sunlight would supposedly come in. But there's no sunlight coming in and hitting that light, right? So I'm holding my phone, I'm just gonna walk Closer and closer. And as we walk closer, look at the reflection. Damn it, I had the phone plugged in. Look at the reflection. The lights are on. But the lights are not on. And there's no sunlight coming in to hit that. And it'd have to be coming in pretty damn strong to show the light bulbs on. Because it may not show it on the camera, but when I'm looking at it, I can see the light bulb on, but it's not. And if it was producing that from the sunlight, then where's the reflection on the ceiling? The light's not on. I'm gonna walk forward. I'm gonna try to keep it in view. Keep it in view. Keep it in view. Hang on. See it? You can still see it. Still see it. Lights are off. You can still see it. I'm like crouched down to show you. That's a glitch in the Matrix, my friends.
Definitely say that one was weird because like you were saying, there was no light coming in, so there's no way it could just bounce off of the ceiling fan onto the painting. If you guys know more about that, let me know down in the comments.
Forbidden chocolate milk. What?
Yeah, it's known as laminar flow. Pretty much is where the fluid doesn't really mix together. It kind of just all just comes out in one, if that makes sense. And it creates this really still image.
Thought I was tripping, so I recorded it.
Guys, I'm kind of freaking out right now because I've tried to film this. This is my 4th time filming this video. I tried to film it on TikTok 3 times, and now I'm in my camera filming it because every single time that I film it, it just closes. Not the app, but like I'll press check and then it'll just delete the whole video. Or it'll only get to the point when I start explaining my story, and then as soon as I start explaining it, then it like just deletes the recording. So you know the Mandela effect thing, okay? So the girl that had the fucking antique, and then she moved, and then she found another one, and she only bought one, but they had the exact same markings, and she was like, how the hell did I get 2 of these? There were only 1. So I'm going to get in bed. I see on my bed my AirPods. I see them there, and I'm like, I'm coming for you later. Okay? Put the kiddo to sleep. She is out. She's out. I'm like, it's mommy's time to waste away her sleep schedule on TikTok. I get my AirPods, pop them open, put the right one in, okay? Right one's in. Right one's not connecting. So I'm like, I'm irresponsible, I didn't charge them. That's on me. Let me put the left one in. It's probably charged. Put the left one in, go to put the right one back in. There is a right AirPod in the right slot, but I have one in my hand, and I know I failed math, but I only have 2 of these, okay? So why do I have 3 of these? So I start freaking out. I'm like, it's fucking happening. It's happening to me right now. So I freak out. So I get up. I turn my flashlight on. I'm poor. I found these, okay? I found them. I could not return them could not return them to the owner. Found them. I can't afford 2. I didn't have another one laying around. So I'm like, I know they're your friends, okay? I don't have a whole lot of friends, but I've only had 2 friends over to my house in the past month. So I call them. I'm like, hey girl, are these yours? She's like, no. Hey, just tell me that they're yours so I know I'm not going crazy, please. Sorry, boo, they're not mine. So then I'm like, well, let me see whose they are. Because, you know, you open them, they have a name. I named mine Steve, because I name all my shit Steve. These are named Steve.
I said the whole world's a stage, even the NFL. Take a look at this.
This all started last season when the NFL scriptwriters and I, we got together and we decided that 2 brothers should play each other in the Super Bowl. When the Bosa brothers said no, I said, well, I guess the Kelseys will do.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, now the Chiefs have Taylor Swift on their side. So why would they want the Chiefs to lose when their jersey sales have gone up 400%? Which brings us back to this video.
Here's a clear example. 27 doesn't even attempt to make a tackle on Patrick Mahomes, giving him a clear path to a first down.
They also love to tell us the truth in all their commercials as well. Check out these.
What do we got?
I say we run last year's script back. Who doesn't love a good sequel, right?
Nice.
But we're just going to tweak the ending a little bit.
There we go. Write that down. All right, everyone. Last season was a smash. Ratings gold, but this year's script has to top it. So welcome to the table read for the 104th season of the NFL. Let's get to work.
Celebrities who glitched on camera, part 2. Cardi B.
To be involved so bad, but nobody asked me about no damn gift. What's good?
So is there going to be a public registry? Because I'm going to be honest with you. Take the gift cards. Fuck everybody's presents. Take the gift cards, take the gift cards, take the gift cards.
Yeah, because they might put, what's that thing that was going on?
Nervous, a little bit overwhelmed. I feel a little shaky. I don't know what's wrong with me. No, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. You look good. It's a question.
I'm like scared. There's no one standing there, but there's a silhouette, like a shadow of.
Why are our shadows not as dark as the bar shadows?
Okay, where is this car that's reflecting on this Boston Pizza window? It's a Corvette C8. I seriously don't see that car anywhere. Where's that car?
I'm trying to put my shoes on. Why do I have 2 left feet? Like, if I take this shoe off and put this shoe on here, cool. This shoe's still on the wrong foot. So then I do it again. What the
Bro, what in the glitch in the Matrix? The motherfucker just floating there. Dead. There's nothing around it. Just floating there. What the
Top 10 Glitches in the Matrix. From my comment section, part 22. My daughter pulled a book out of the bookcase, and my current driver's license fell out. She brought it to me, asking if I had been looking for it. I pulled out my wallet, the same license was there. At about 11:20 p.m. on the 18th, and I was about to go to bed, but I decided to pet my cat once more. And when I looked back at the clock, it said it was 4 a.m. I checked my phone, and it was 4 a.m. on the 20th. My dad was visiting my house one day, and he lives about 20 minutes away. He drove back to his house in his car. 2 days later, he lost his car keys, and I found them in my driveway under my car. It had rained since his visit, and I have left multiple times. And no, he doesn't have a push-to-start car. My family and I took a long road trip to Tennessee. I wore my favorite jean jacket. I took it off in the car halfway down our trip, and then we get to the hotel. I put my jacket on a chair next to the door. A couple days later, I went to wear it. It was gone. I was so upset. After a week, we went home. My jacket was on my bed. How? I wore it to Tennessee. When I was a kid, I had this little lemon strawberry shortcake themed figure. I remember purposely setting it on top of my dresser to display. I constantly looked over at it while playing too. Then poof, gone. Couldn't find it anywhere in my room. Days later, it showed back up on the dresser where I left it. Absolutely freaked me out. Once I was making some chocolate milk and I had put the cap of the milk down and put the jug down next to it, turned around to grab the chocolate syrup, turned back, the cap was gone. I looked everywhere, on the floor, on both tables, and then I turned around to face the jug again and the cap fell on my head. Still freaks me out to this day, and no one was in the kitchen with me. My mom had gotten this purple blanket for Christmas one year. It was the kind of material that would stick to your skin if it was dry. She told me one day to bring it upstairs into my closet. I did. Later that day, she told me to put it in my closet again. I told her I did. She then pointed at it saying, "It's right here." I took it to my closet and went to put it away. I was gonna put it where I thought I had put the first one, but it was already there. We now have two of the same blanket and no one knows where the other one came from. Glitch or ghost? I had a childhood toy that I took everywhere with me. It slept on my bed with me at night. One morning, I woke up and it was missing. My whole family gutted my room looking for it. Nowhere to be seen. I was heartbroken. I had this toy since I was a baby. Months later, it was sitting alone on my windowsill. Randomly reappeared one day. My whole family still doesn't understand. When I was 7, the town I lived in had a crossroad. My sister was on the sidewalk and I ran into the middle of the road and an unseen force pulled me 10 feet back to the curb. While the car was mere inches from killing me, my sister went white and said, "You could even see my clothes being pulled by something." And at number 10, my ID, passport, and keys were in a bag that were stolen from an IKEA parking lot. Car was broken into. I filed a report. This was in April. Fast forward to literally 2 weeks ago, my ID and keys were in a bag I haven't used in over a year. Passport's still gone. Now I have 2 IDs and 2 sets of keys. I've seen a lot of skeptics in my comment section, so please explain these to me. How does the cap of a milk carton fall on someone's head while no one else is home and they're just standing there minding their own business? How does a jean jacket get lost while on vacation just for it to end up on the person's bed when they get home? Also, the one where the person went into the road and then was pulled 10 feet back, that was 100% divine intervention. You were not allowed to die that day. There's so much to this world and universe that's just unexplainable, and I love it.
Alright, I don't know if I'm tripping. These people are just... She's no. What the f happened to me? I feel like I'm tripping. Like, what are they looking at? What's he looking at? Are they stuck? Dude, this is weird as fuck. This is so weird. What's going on? He's like, what the f?
This celebrity glitched live on TV. Everybody's having a good time, talking, laughing, watching. Watch when she mentions the Holy Ghost.
Leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway,
Check him out, y'all.
Memories today, actually. It's a big
Something
day in
got
music
triggered
history.
in him.
35
Look at that
years
woman's
ago
face.
Today, Elvis Presley passed away, the king of rock and
Stay
roll.
weird,
As Mark
y'all.
Cole says in his great song "Walking in Memphis," there's a pretty.
Remember when a few years ago that YouTuber supposedly went missing after creating a portal to Sedona inside of his bedroom?
Missing YouTuber and his viral video. It's all part of a mystery centered around Sedona, Arizona.
Of course, the popular tourist destination that we all love and know, and it's known for its scenic beauty and shopping. But don't forget its mysterious side. Crystals and energy vortexes are a big reason why some people visit Sedona.
He shows himself on video using his computer with a variation of frequencies. He also has this light box on his bed.
It can be used for science experiments. I would say so.
I'm speeding this part up so you can see it. It's much slower in the real video. But you can see the little box working and it's creating the portal that's supposedly showing Sedona on the other side. His name was Funky Fathead on YouTube. He was notorious for opening up these portals using sound frequencies. Not long after opening up the portal to Sedona, his account went inactive. A lot of people told him that traveling through these portals could be very dangerous for him.
I did not leave with this on my back. I was gone approximately 15 to 17 minutes. I usually don't like to be gone longer than 25 minutes per trip. This is a new one. This is a new thing.
How the hell is he opening portals in his bedroom? I don't know. That one is kind of like trippy to me, but like, could you imagine doing that? I don't even know if that's even like possible for real. He said he uses frequencies. I don't know. Maybe I should try it.
Kanye West.
Yeah, so I have remote viewed Kanye. Definitely a huge part of the Illuminati. I mean, that's a no-brainer. All of the signs are there.
Was he cloned, you think?
Okay, with clones. So Kanye does have clones of him, but for the most part, he plays by their rules. So they haven't completely taken him out, right? So sometimes if they're too much of a threat, they'll just kill them off and then replace them entirely with a clone. But this is why Kanye is just a little bit disheveled, because he has gone through so much MK Ultra programming. So even if they aren't fully a clone all the time, they go through a lot of programming, and they also get pretty drugged up to be able to handle that kind of programming. And so he'll just shoot off random stuff. So they haven't completely taken him out, and he does have clones, but for the most part, it is him.
Yeah, because you'll see him go through these episodes where all the PR is attacking him every few months.
Yep.
And that's him just exposing stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, no one takes him seriously because of all the other that he's saying at the same time.
Derealization. The world's still running, it's just stopped feeling real. Everything looks normal, but none of it feels real. That's derealization, a glitch in the immersion engine. The textures load, the lighting works, but you, the player, feel like you're floating outside the scene. People describe it like being in a movie, or trapped in a lucid dream, like there's a glass wall between you and life. What's terrifying is that you know it's not real, while it's still happening. You look at your hand and think, that should feel like mine, but it doesn't. You hear your name and think, that's me, but it's hollow. This is what happens when the emotional rendering layer glitches out. Derealization strips the world of its depth, its color, its consequence. You're there, but not really. Watching the code run without being part of it. And for some, it lasts minutes. For others, months. A lingering disconnect that turns life into observation. But what if reality isn't broken, but the connection to it is? And what if that connection is more fragile than we ever realized? Capgras delusion. Familiar face, broken link. You recognize their face. You know their habits, their voice, their laugh, but something inside you whispers, that's not them. Welcome to Capgras delusion, a glitch where the emotional connection module of your brain goes dark, even when facial recognition keeps running smoothly. Imagine logging into your account, seeing your profile photo, your name, your data, but something feels off. It's you, but it's not. That's what Capgras feels like. The system checks identity, match confirmed, but the emotional API returns null. This glitch splits logic and emotion into separate processes, and when they desync, you start seeing trusted people as imposters. What's even scarier is that the person experiencing it isn't always panicked. Sometimes they're eerily calm, just certain that the person in front of them has been replaced. Replaced by what? A double, a copy, a simulation glitch that rendered a familiar face with the wrong emotional key. If reality was perfect, this wouldn't happen, but it does, which means the code is messy, bug-prone, patchable. And if our emotions can be detached from recognition, how much of our connection to others is just a successful script running in the background? Capgras isn't about forgetting, it's about knowing and not feeling. And that's maybe the most dangerous glitch of all, because it shows how fragile truth really is when our perception systems aren't synced.
Early humans were way more terrifying than you actually think. We had one of the highest levels of endurance compared to nearly every living being on the planet. But why was this scary? Well, humans used to practice something called persistence hunting, using our incredible stamina to chase down prey in a horrifying way. Knowing we couldn't catch the animal at full strength and speed, we would slowly follow it instead, where no matter how far the animal ran, they would turn around and keep seeing these hairless creatures constantly following them. Even after multiple hours of running, thinking they finally got away, the creatures would just keep appearing over and over. Humans would never get tired, forcing the animal to run until their body physically shuts down, where your only choice was to lay down from exhaustion and let them spear you to death.
We might not have been the strongest or the fastest, but we definitely were the smartest and had the most stamina. So I guess that's the human superpower.
I don't see one single snow. It snowed pretty hard. It's really hard in the mirror. And then look outside, there's nothing.
It's all clear.
Oh my gosh. No, wait, what?
Alright, so it's moving. But wait, when we start moving, it looks like it's still. And then you can tell it's moving again.
so crazy.
That's wild.
No. My fear is happening. My fear is happening of not being able to get to my car in a parking garage. There's my car. Yep, okay. If I go down that way, that brings me down. So, I'm walking up. But when I round the corner, nothing. So now I'm coming back down. I'm so confused. I know I'm on level 3, but like, why? Why can't I get right there? I'm gonna have to freaking hop the barrier. I saw another ghost TikTok on this once, and this was the same thing. And it was like an obstacle course. Why? I don't understand. Help me. See, now I just walked from up there. That's going back down. That's not where I need to be. Do I jump the ledge?
At that point, yes, I would say jump the ledge.
These celebrities were caught glitching on camera. Check it out.
A lot of fun. Let's get started. Our first caress.
But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human still. But I was just referring to myself in the past. Not that I was not human.
From Mexico to London.
It was pretty rough. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Weird. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello. Ew. Strawberry. Yeah, it was a weird time. Ew. Remember Thanksgiving?
Don't forget to like and follow and stay weird.
Let's read some Glitch in the Matrix stories, part 13. This is the one that I was talking about last night when I made the TikTok. I opened this email up, I read it, and then I got so scared I couldn't make the TikTok because I couldn't read it again and I had to wait till it was daylight. So now that it's morning, I can share it. So let's go. In the early 2000s, a friend and I went to look at a rental house in our hometown. I drove us there, and the first thing I noticed was how big the driveway was and that there was a laundromat to the right with a huge parking lot. I was in my early 20s, so my first thought was, so much room for parking when we have parties. The next thing I noticed is the house on the left has a big tree in the front yard and a hole in the window about the size of a baseball. The man showing us the house arrives. He's probably in his 40s, a bit overweight, but nothing unusual. We meet him on the back deck and enter through the kitchen. I noticed random things. The house hasn't been updated since it was built in the 40s to 50s, common for that area. There's built-in bookcases and a boarded-up window in the living room. Man says it's because they built a shed attached to the house. This doesn't fit the layout from the outside, but we shrug it off. We continue down the hallway, and the man says, you girls are gonna fight over the main bedroom. It has a huge walk-in closet, and I know how girls are with clothes. We laugh as we walk into the room. He points out the closet, which is just a dark door frame opening. The light is off in the bedroom, and there's old curtains over the windows, so hazy sunlight is filtering in, but it's overall dark, and the closet is pitch black. He tells us we should check out the closet as it goes all the way back a few feet. At this point, the red flags are too much to miss. My friend is standing behind me at an angle that I can't see her face, but I can feel the tension radiating off of her and her voice in my head screaming that we need to leave. But every fiber in my being is telling me to play it cool to survive. I smile and say something like, I don't have a lot of clothes. He tries again. My friend makes an excuse this time. He tries a third time, and I change the subject to something else about the house. We keep trying to change the subject to get out of the room, and he keeps stalling to bring it back up. That's the last memory we both have in the house. Then it was like I was watching myself from outside my body. I was in the driver's seat. We were at a red light a few miles away. My friend's mouth was moving, but I couldn't hear her. You know that pop noise when you come up from underwater? I heard that, and then I could hear my friend. What the fuck? We were in the middle of an entirely unrelated conversation. I look at the time on my dash, and it's significantly later. I say this, and that I don't remember leaving the house. She doesn't either. It's super weird, but we chalk it up to being in survival mode because we knew something bad would happen if we went in that closet. Creepy, but it doesn't end there. A few weeks later, we're going to meet friends at a bar. We're driving down the road the house was on and both notice it's not there. Like the entire house was gone with no possibility of it ever having existed. There's maybe 6 to 8 feet between the house that was to the left of it and the laundromat parking lot. It's not possible that both a house and a wide driveway fit in that space. Couldn't have been demolished as the grass was already needing to be cut. I have no idea where we went that day, what was in the closet, or how we got out alive.
Signed memorabilia, exclusive items, and so much more, all at the Rec Room in downtown Toronto, open through Sunday.
6 minutes later, the two first officers notified the cabin crew of the upcoming turbulence expected in 2 minutes. The turbulence ahead turned out to be moderate. Despite having the autopilot engaged, the bank angle fluctuated between roughly 3 degrees to the right and 5 degrees to the left. The first officer adjusted the radar gain setting to increase its sensitivity and suggested a deviation to the left. They turned the aircraft 12 degrees left of the intended track to avoid the worst of the weather. 2 minutes later, the aircraft encountered an updraft. A sound typical of ice crystals hitting the fuselage was heard. The pitot tubes started picking up ice particles. Normally, this would not be a problem, but if the concentration of crystals is high enough, they can clog them, faster than the built-in heaters can melt them. The A330 has 3 pitot tubes, one each for the captain, the first officer, and the standby instruments. Each pitot tube measures the pressure of the oncoming air, which is then compared to the static pressure to derive the plane's airspeed. This data in turn is used to calculate a number of other parameters, including Mach number, vertical speed, and altitude, which are all displayed instantaneously to the pilots. But if ice crystals clog the pitot tubes, air cannot enter them, causing the measured pressure to drop, which in turn causes a decrease in indicated airspeed. On Flight 447, as all 3 pitot tubes filled up with ice, the airspeed readings quickly became invalid and fell from 275 to 139 knots. This started a chain reaction of problems. The autopilot disconnected and the flight director bars disappeared. The aircraft's flight control law changed from normal to alternate 2, leading to the shutdown of many built-in protections, such as angle of attack, overspeed, and bank angle protection. Therefore, the aircraft became more sensitive to roll inputs.
I have the controls.
The aircraft rolled right, and the first officer began hand-flying the aircraft, making nose-up and left-roll inputs. The autothrust disconnected and went into thrust-lock mode, freezing the power setting at 83%. The pitch attitude rose to 6 degrees, and the vertical speed increased through 1,800 feet per minute, triggering the stall warning. A stall happens when the aircraft's wings can no longer generate enough lift. This loss of lift leads to a sudden decrease in the aircraft's ability to stay airborne, causing it to drop or lose altitude rapidly. The first officer struggled to regain control over the bank angle and over-controlled the roll input with a series of left and right banks. The control inputs were exactly out of phase with the roll motion. After a challenging period, he gradually managed to stabilize the roll over the next 30 seconds, which silenced the stall warning. Just seconds later, the airspeed indicated on the standby instrument began to decay once more, dropping sharply from 270 to 73 knots. The aircraft's pitch increased by 11 degrees, and its vertical speed increased through 6,000 feet per minute. The first officer continued to make nose-up inputs, and the pitch attitude increased to 16 degrees. A series of small roll movements began. he countered each with lateral stick input. The stall warning was triggered again, and amidst the chaos, attempts were made to call the captain back by ringing a call chime in the crew rest area. The stall angle of attack was reached, causing the aircraft to shake as it entered an aerodynamically unstable condition. Thrust was increased to toga. The first officer continued to make nose-up inputs, resulting in the aircraft maintaining a shallow climb.
Above all, try to touch the lateral controls as little as possible.
The rolling continued, and the first officer inputs increased, using up to full left and right stick inputs to counteract them. The ice blocking the pitot tubes had melted, and all 3 airspeed indicators displayed the correct readings of around 180 knots. It became clear that they were flying too slowly for this flight level, as the normal airspeed for their flying altitude was about 260 knots. Seconds later, the aircraft reached its maximum altitude of almost 38,000 feet. It had gained 3,000 feet in just 1 minute and 7 seconds since the autopilot disconnected. The bank angle increased to the right. The first officer held full left stick with virtually no effect on the bank angle.
I don't have control of the aircraft anymore. I don't have control of the aircraft at all.
Controls to the left.
The relief first officer made 2 full left control inputs. The first officer kept his control stick fully to the left and pulled it all the way back for nearly 40 seconds. The descent rate increased to 10,000 feet per minute. The pitch attitude fluctuated between about 10 degrees and 16 degrees nose up. 2 minutes after the autopilot disconnected, the captain entered the cockpit. The indicated airspeeds dropped below 60 knots, which made the angle of attack sensors invalid and silenced the stall warning. As the speeds fell below 30 knots, a red SPD flag replaced the airspeed indication. Despite the first officer his side stick being full left in an attempt to control it, the aircraft was tilted to the right, with bank angles fluctuating up to 45 degrees.
Yeah, what's going on here? Got one guy just stood there. He's been stood there for about an hour. This other guy just...
So Diddy was paying random dudes to help Cassie drink golden liquid that they provided? Nah, bruh. So if you didn't know already, the Diddy trials have started. And before I even go in detail, Cassie husband, I pray for you, bro. Because if this is just only half of the information that they've only put out, you are a strong man. Quick trigger warning. So they're claiming that Cassie and other women were not only forced to do the deed with some of these random dudes that they found on the street, but they were not allowed to have any type of protection. If you asked for protection, Diddy would get upset. One stated that she threw up from all the crazy stuff that was happening. The man Diddy said, "Can you do that again?" Crazy work. When the shawties would try to stop participating in the Diddy-offs, Diddy would lay the beats and tell them that he was going to leak the videos to the public. They're claiming that this man would sit in a chair and just watch the festives happen, even when it's far into breaking into someone's crib and laying the beats on them so that they know he wasn't playing, that they had to attend the Diddy-offs. And it just gets worse and worse and worse, but I don't want to lose my platform by going into detail anymore. Y'all can go see the rest on X. Crazy. What do you guys think about this situation? Cassie husband, I pray for you, bro.
Dude, that is wild. I mean, I'm thinking about it like this. I'm like, what did J-Lo have to go through? Because I know that Diddy dated J-Lo for like a little bit. So just imagine the things he had her doing. But I don't know, man. The Diddy trial, I heard, has been getting wild. They've been exposing a lot of things. So it's crazy. If you guys like the video, remember to like the video. YouTube said you guys would like this video. So check out this video. It's probably just as good as this one. So